Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. The message I heard is some things you've never seen before. The scripture comes from 2 Chronicles 22. The people of Jerusalem made Ahaziah, Jehoram's youngest son, king in his place, since the raiders who came with the Arabs into the camp had killed all the older sons. So Ahaziah, son of Jehoram, king of Judah, began to reign. Ahaziah was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 1 year. I'm going to point out, because I noticed this is 2nd Chronicles. This is 22, and then he was 22 when he became king, okay? His mother's name was Athaliah, a granddaughter of Omri. He too followed the ways of the house of Ahab, for his mother encouraged him to act wickedly. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, as the house of Ahab had done. For after his father's death, they became his advisors to his undoing. He also followed their counsel when he went to Jehoram, son of Ahab, king of Israel, to wage war against Hazael, king of Aram, at Ramoth Gilead. The Armenians wounded Joram, so he returned to Jezreel to recover from the wounds they had inflicted on him at Ramoth in battle with Hazael, king of Aram. Then Ahaziah, son of Jehoram, king of Judah, went down to Jezreel to see Joram, son of Ahab, because he had been wounded. Through Ahaziah's visit to Jehoram, God brought about Ahaziah's downfall. When Ahaziah arrived, he went out with Jehoram to meet Jehu, son of Nimshi, whom the Lord had anointed to destroy the house of Ahab. While Jehu was executing judgment on the house of Ahab, he found the officials of Judah and the sons of Ahaziah's relatives who had been attending Ahaziah, and he killed them. He then went in search of Ahaziah, and his men captured him while he was hiding in Samaria. He was brought to Jehu and put to death. They buried him, for they said he was a son of Jehoshaphat, who sought the Lord with all his heart. So there was no one in the house of Ahaziah powerful enough to retain the kingdom. So here's the message for someone. There are some things that you have never seen. There are some things that you have never seen. And here's the reason. God says that the journey of your life and the different things that you have seen in your life have all happened strategically for the very purpose of your life. So there is something that God has intended for you to do. There are some things that God has intended for you to do. And in order for you to do these things, you had to see certain things. You would not be able to I just feel like for someone, you would not be able to live your life in the way that he wants you to. Like, this is about destiny for somebody. This is about a destiny for someone. Your destiny, you would not be able to fulfill your destiny had things happen differently. So if this would be like for someone, let's say, what I'm thinking of right now, what God is bringing to my attention is for someone, maybe you were adopted, or you ended up in being raised by someone that wasn't your birth parent. However, God is saying that you have fantasized and you may have thought about what your life would be like if you would have been raised by your birth parent. God says that was not your portion, because what you don't realize, if that person was evil, because what it say right here is he took his father's place and he began to reign. He began to reign. He too followed the ways of the house of Ahab, for his mother encouraged him to act wickedly. So for someone, had you been raised by this person, you would have been just as wicked as those that came before you. But God said that was not your portion. So he put you with someone that would not encourage evilness. He put you with someone that would not encourage wicked ways. He put you with someone that would encourage godly ways. Therefore, you are different, and it's okay. You are meant to be different. You are meant to be different. Had you been raised and to go down wicked pathways, had you been raised to go down and be as wicked as this person was, you would not have the future that you have before you. You would not be able to fulfill the destiny that God has given to you, because you would have ended up with some kind of wicked downfall. And that is for somebody. God says there are some things that you have never seen, and you were not meant to see them. There were some things that you have not experienced. You were not meant to experience them. There were some things that, like, this is someone you have yearned for this. You yearned for it. You wanted it. But it was always rejected to you. Regardless to if this person they never gave you the love that you yearned for. They never gave you the attention that you yearned for. God said he put it up on their heart to reject you. He put it up on their heart to reject you. You may look at it and you may see, I don't understand why they didn't love me. I don't understand why they didn't care for me. It could be a situation where you are the only child that they did not take in. You're the only child they didn't care for. You're the only child they didn't raise. God says they were not meant to raise you. They could have 6, 7, 8, 10 kids. It was not meant for you to be raised by them, because then you would be taking on the same wicked ways that they had. God said it wasn't meant. He has a different journey for you. You are meant to have a different outcome. You are not meant to have the same outcome as this person, because 9 out of 10, this person is not going to have the kind of outcome that they desire. It's not going to be the kind of outcome that they seek. God is saying, just like wicked people, they have a different, we already know. And I just feel like this is someone, regardless if they still kicking it or not, this is somebody like you have been yearning and you have been wondering why you don't have the same kind of relationship with them as other children. You may feel as though you don't understand why they don't love you the way they love them. Guess what? You're not wicked like them, so they can't. They don't see what you see as good, they see as evil. What you see as evil, they see as good. Y'all would not mix and match, because you were not raised in the wickedness and the ways of that they would desire for you to be. And in reality, they rejected you because God wanted them to reject you. There was nothing wrong with you. There was nothing wrong with you. They may come up with this excuse and that excuse, and they got all these reasons as to why they rejected you. But in reality, none of those reasons are true. This person lied and said that something happened that did not happen. And for this person lied and they pretended and they put on a show and they as to why they rejected you. But in reality, God put it up on their heart to lie. God put it up on their heart to reject you. God put it up on their heart to hate you, because he has a different future for you that does not have anything to do with the wickedness that would be up in your heart has you been raised by them. And that's the truth. And you may be sad, and it may bring you some sadness, it may bring you some heartache. God says give it to him, because it is not intended for you to be sad. It's not intended for you to be heartbroken. In reality, it was not intended for you to be raised by this wicked person, because you will be just as wicked as them. They will be encouraging you. It says his mother encouraged him to act wickedly. They would be encouraging you to do wicked things. They would be encouraging you to do evil. I'm being reminded of the show Claus, when Desna was supposed to be married to this man. She was getting married to this man. Well, she did marry that man. And his mother was encouraging him to do evil things. She was encouraging him to do wicked things. He had this persona as if he was the big man man in charge, but in reality it was his mama telling him to do all kind of evil, telling him to do all kind of wicked things, telling him to do. And God is saying that if you were in this position, where if you were in the position that you desired, and if you were getting treated the way you wanted to be treated, and if you would have been included, you would have been just as wicked as everybody else. God set you apart on purpose. He set you apart for a reason. It's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason that God set you apart. There's a reason that you were raised the way you were raised. There's a reason you were brought up the way you were brought up. And they may not want to admit it, but it is what it is. God said that's the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what it is. God said it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. They may make you feel as though you're bad. They make you feel as though you are unworthy, or they try to make you feel as though you are not you are less than or whatever. In reality, if you had been raised over there, you would have been just as wicked as everybody else. And that's the truth. And that's the truth. God says you would not be able to fulfill what he has, the purpose of your life. God has chosen you for a purpose, and there is a purpose that is disattached from wickedness. And because of that, you were raised the way you were raised by the people you were raised by, and it's okay. God said he had to take some things away. And there are certain things that you yearn for. There are certain things that you wanted. You may have craved attention from this person, regardless of if you understood why or not. God said he saw that and he understood. And he put people in place to ensure that you got the attention that you deserve, to ensure that you got the love you deserve, to ensure that you were cared for, and that you felt as though you were like, this is somebody you don't even realize how God ensured that you receive the love you deserve to receive. Because although this person, it may have seemed as though, oh, if I would have been with, oh, if I would have had, oh, if I, you don't even understand. Because just because there are some people that the own mothers that have had their children that are still just as wicked to their children as they will be with somebody that they just met off the block, off the street. And God is saying that you did not deserve that. And this person would have made you just as wicked as them. They would have pushed you to be just as evil as them. I saw the other day of how this lady, her and her daughter, took somebody up out of here together. Just crazy. She got mad at her daughter because she stopped fighting her and she was able to get up and get away. And I was just, look at this mess here. Look at this mess here. Look at this mess here. There are some mothers that will insist on their daughters doing wickedness. And they get mad at them when they're not as wicked as they would want them to be. They get upset with them because they're not as evil as they want them to be and push them to be even more evil. God says it was not meant for you to go down that route, because it would have been, you would have been just as wicked and just as evil. It's not meant for you. That's not your portion. God has a different journey for you. God has a different pathway for you. And that's okay. God has a different thing there's something that you are supposed to fulfill. You would not be able to fulfill your destiny had you been following in behind this person. And regardless of, as quiet as it's kept, most children yearn to make their parents proud. And God is saying that you would have been yearning to make somebody proud. And the only way you would make them proud is by doing evil. The only way you would have made them proud is by being wicked. The only way you would have made them proud is by doing evil things. God says, stay away from that. You should turn your back to that. And it's okay. God says he will put people in place to fulfill the yearning that you have in your heart, the desire you have in your heart. And it's okay. And that's the message. God is saying if you would have been over there, if you would have been with this person, you would have had to deal with people that you wouldn't have received the love that you deserve. You wouldn't have received the joy that you deserve. You wouldn't be the person that you are today. And you don't understand how beautiful you have been raised, and you were raised in love, and you were brought up to be a beautiful, kind, and loving person. And God is saying that that is who he is meant for you to be. He is not meant for you to be wicked. He did not mean for you to do evil. He did not mean for you to grow up and to be this way. There's a reason that it happened, and it is what it is. But God loves you, and that's why he sets you apart. That's why. And that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.